So today we're going to continue our series on how to get rich mining Bitcoin, part 3. Specifically today we're going to be talking about how to calculate the profit or how profitable it can be. Understand what determines profitability when it comes to Bitcoin. So there's a video that I referenced on understanding Bitcoin, and it does a good job of explaining that there's two things that ultimately determine how profitable Bitcoin mining is going to be. The first thing is the difficulty. You have to know what the difficulty of Bitcoin is, and you have to understand that every 2 weeks the difficulty continues to go up. The more people that are trying to mine Bitcoin, the difficulty will go up as well. The other thing that determines the profitability is the price of Bitcoin, the current price of Bitcoin, current market price. Also, your cost to be able for either the hardware, if you're going to do it yourself, or the hashing power if you're going to lease or rent hashing power through some sort of a cloud mining operation like Genesis Mining. So I want to kind of go through kind of how to be able to calculate this so you can understand. There are websites that kind of help give you a good rough estimate on this, but you have to make certain that you're thoroughly covering your cost. You thoroughly understand the calculation, or what to calculate. So for example, if you come to this website, Coin Wars, well, first of all, let me show you how to access this. So if you come here, you want to go to mining calculators, and then you want to choose Bitcoin mining calculator. And then for hash rate, so let me show you here on this particular Antminer. So this is 13.5. This one says it's 14 terahash. It's a little bit less expensive, so we'll use this one. So 14 terahash. So a terahash is 1,000 gigahash. Right here you'll notice they have gigahash. So that would be 14,000 terahash. Now power, you need to know what your power watts, what it would take to be able to, the wattage you're going to be using, the power you're going to be using. You also need to understand what are your power costs per kilowatt hour. This is going to vary from place to place, and this is going to be a big variable regionally. This is what makes it more or less expensive in one region versus the other. Also, you're going to be using some sort of a pool. You mine to a pool. There's some technical aspects to setting that up, but you would need to know what are your pool fees to be able to use. This is the current difficulty calculation or factor. Here you don't have to change that. That is properly set. This is the current block reward. 12.5 is the current block reward. That changes every so often, every so many years, or every so many blocks. Current price of Bitcoin, and then your hardware cost. So for example, in this case, the hardware cost is $5,500. Of course, you got to make sure you include taxes and shipping, etc. But we'll just keep it simple, and we'll say $5,500. I have no idea what pool fees would be, but you want to calculate that in. But we'll just leave it all, kind of the same. We'll just leave it here for now. And let's calculate. In fact, we'll just put power cost at 0. Of course, you need to know what your power cost is and put it in. The reason I'm putting it at 0, I'll show you in a moment. So right now, on $5,500 for the Antminer at 14 terahash, it would take you 176 days to break even, and then you'd be earning about $1.30 a day. I'm sorry, $1.30 an hour, $31.10 per day. This is what you would earn weekly. Of course, this isn't counting whatever your pool fees would come out of that. About $11,000 a year. Again, your pool fees would come out of it. So that's how you could calculate it, for example, if you were using hardware. Now, if you're using cloud mining, so for example, Genesis Mining, Genesis is currently sold out of contracts, but the last time they had them for sale, they were $179 per terahash. So you could do 1,000 gigahash. You could do 179. Pool fees, 28% is most often used. You can get very specific about that if you want to. You can calculate, and 179 $179 per terahash. Oh, I don't know if that matters, but that's probably not gonna matter. But so that's at 111 days. So it's $1.60. As you can see, it's a bit more profitable per day. So now let's just do the same thing with HashFlare, just for giggles. How would you calculate that? Now HashFlare is $2.20 per 10 gigahash. Now I want to point this out. So it's $2.20 per gigahash. So a terahash would be 100 times 10, right? So that would be $220. So we already know it's going to be a little more expensive, but that's okay. So it's $220. But let's just see what it would be. Calculate, calculate, calculate. And there we go. We can see the different prices. 7 cents per hour, $1.60 per day. Of course, that's per terahash, and 1120, and it goes up from there. Now, a couple of differences to note. Currently, HashFlare is more expensive, but they have contracts available. However, their contracts are 1-year contracts. Now, some people don't mind it because they're like, hey, I'm going to break even in basically 111 days? 137 days, so then I got the rest of the year to be profitable. By the way, this goes up and down based off the current price of Bitcoin, just so you know. When the price of Bitcoin is higher, it goes up and down. The difficulty, by the way, recently went up. So the difficulty does go up, and this is only based off current difficulty, current price. This does change. However, some people are fine that it's a 1-year contract. The other thing is HashFlare does have an option, I've been told, where they will do auto reinvest, so they won't pay you out necessarily. You can have them automatically buy more gigahash with your profits, with your Bitcoin profits. So some people like that feature, and that's a pretty neat feature. But it is a 1-year contract. It is a little more expensive. With Genesis, your contracts are open-ended. They're not going to show pricing, I don't think. Yeah, they're not. Let's see, Bitcoin. So it was 179 per 1,000 gigahash or terahash last time. They are currently out of stock, as you can see. This is a lifetime, what they call it, open-ended Bitcoin mining contract. So outside of maintenance fees, as long as the contract is profitable, it's good as long as it's profitable. So it could last a year, 2 years, 3 years. You know, who knows how long it could last. As long as the price kept in line, the Bitcoin price stayed high enough to keep profitability in place, then you would continue to earn. I prefer Genesis personally 100%, and I personally do not use HashFlare. They both, I mentioned in my last video that some of these cloud mining companies have had bad reputations. I can't vouch for HashFlare. I don't use them, but I can tell you they've been around for a long time. Lots of people use them. I have recommended friends to use HashFlare if they were very serious about, just they were anxious, not serious. They were anxious to want to do something different. I have recommended HashFlare. Personally, for now, I am saving up my Bitcoin to purchase mining contracts when they become available here on Genesis. If I had enough Bitcoin sitting around, I might would throw some over there on HashFlare. Now, with that being said, how do you scale up from here? I'm going to put that in the next video. I'm going to talk about what's the best way to scale up. And I want to cover, I wanted to put in this video, but this video has been long enough. I want to cover some things about scaling up that people don't always pay attention to. So many times people make it about the dollars, and it is about the dollars. But there's a little bit more to the story than that. So I'm going to be covering that in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification icon. And if this has been helpful to you, if this has been good information, please hit that thumbs up button as well. Let's get this shared with other people. Thank you again so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.